Um, so I've always had this. I don't know if I'm mental or what. It's just how I operate. But I've always kind of looked at things, able to look at it on a commercial level, where almost everything is money. Like ones and zeros. It costs energy and takes time and effort to build everything. The monitors in front of me, the microphone, the streets, the glass, everything. And when running my house, I kind of look at it the same way. It's like everything's money. And when dealing with finances, that was one of the very important foundations that my grandfather laid for me. Was he was like, you have to have your financial house in order. And so I've always tried to keep that in my pocket as a mindset to keep sure that I'm financially stable and able to do things, because we all want to cover our necessities obviously in the very beginning, but then from there we all want to kind of have fun. We want to enjoy life and get entertained and have stuff. But it's just everything's so expensive. And my ex is, it's like it's hard to get her to understand the money part of it, because um, when somebody else is paying for everything, you're good. Like my grandfather used to say, food always tastes better when somebody else pays for it. And when you're finally responsible, I'll give you the Christmas scenario. I don't celebrate Christmas, but I never liked getting clothes on Christmas. I hated it. But then when I started realizing that I had to buy my own clothes, I was like, dang, I kind of wish I would have enjoyed getting clothes more, because toys are just fun and stuff, but you kind of need clothes to do stuff. And um, Crystal says, I'm out. Wait, what? I'm out. What does that mean? I don't get it. So what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. This is the Charles Show. If y'all have not noticed, I have a giant QR code behind me instead of my normal trifecta elemental chart. And this is in honor of TikTok. I want to give them praise and admiration for saying that my content is basically as exciting as a QR code. So since I'm as exciting as a QR code, I have my QR code up in honor of TikTok, saying that that's how exciting I am, and it's apparently a community guidelines violation for being that boring. So, cheers. Hey. Anyway, when I said I started recording, you're out. Oh, no, I'm not like filming you. I'm just, I save these lives. It's almost like a diary. This is like my diary I'm recording, and I get to listen to it later once or something. And it's kind of like what I'm going through, talking about things, and actually helping y'all too. There's a lot of edification when people come on and ask questions. And feel free, anybody, to ask any questions at all. This is what the time's set aside for. I normally try to come on at 2 o'clock, but I'm going to be busy. I got to meet contractors a little later. So, what's up, Nard? Why do we want the oath of office for public officials? It depends on what you're trying to do, because when you can get them to admit that they're supposed to uphold the Constitution and that they're bound by certain guidelines and rules. Typically, you want to get that if you're trying to call them out on breaching their duty, because a lot of, I'll say, officials like to act colorably when operating out there in the field and or in courtrooms and stuff like that. For instance, I had a deputy straight lie on the record about me, saying that I said something that I didn't. And I wish that I would have spoken up. I didn't know how the game was played back then. And it's designed like that for a reason. We're not taught how the court system operates or any of that stuff. They want you to be dependent upon them. And that's why it's so hard to break out of the matrix, because it's like it keeps you locked in between education, food, and the systems that have been established. They don't give you the playbooks. They don't give you the rules. Teresa, thank you so much for the heart, sweetheart. Your gifts will be used to help others by enlightening and promoting my videos that TikTok is shadow banning. Oh, the butterfly. Wow, it's beautiful. I actually saw that one. That's cool. Normally I don't get to see them. That was beautiful. So the system is designed to keep you kind of locked in, even though the shackles are invisible. And like I said, I studied for many, many, many years and found out that I was free the entire time. And you have to be very, very careful, because education is a double-edged sword. And once you start going down the road of sovereignty and becoming awake and opening your eyes, everything seems so amazing, and it can consume you. And I've had many teachers tell me to be very careful, because they've spent 15 years studying, and they wish they would have spent that time with family, or spent that time trying to travel or enjoying nature. 15 years of their life is gone. Now, a lot of mine was while I was locked up, is when I was studying. And when I got out, I was just trying to figure out what to do. But when the commerce opened up to me, it just, oh my gosh, it was amazing. But I have spent a lot of time studying that, and now I'm kind of enjoying my life some while also helping people. So you got to find balance, and that is actually one of the new Generation Z's. I don't know if y'all have seen the video where it shows the difference between back in the day when like a guy would stub his foot or something. Like he stubbed his foot and he just grit his teeth, like way back in the day. And then it progresses year after year up until now, where it's like the new generation, they stub their toe and they're on the ground crying, wanting their mommy, and they need like a blanket and a pillow and stuff like that, because everybody's getting soft. So back in the, it's just, everything is padded now for emotions and feeling and stuff like that. And I had a actual point that I was trying to get to, and I can't remember because I was in my mind picturing the guy needing a pillow for studying or for stubbing his toe, and it's so funny. But everything is now padded towards making sure everybody's comfortable instead of what is just or right. It's the new age that we're in right now. Crystal, I have a doctor appointment. Have a great day. You too. Appreciate it. I'm glad you came on for a minute and got me kind of warmed up to get going. So enjoy. Take care. Going through a lot. So I'll send energy your way. How's everybody doing? Friday. I appreciate any questions y'all have. I will help you. That's what this time is for. Got a lot going on today. So please feel free. I'm an open book. Anything you want to talk about nature, spirit, and commerce, I'm here to help. I hope y'all are enjoying my videos. I'm not really sure why I'm being throttled down so much. It used to be, golly, I'd put out a video and it'd get 30, 40, 50,000 views. Now I'll get 300, 200, something like that. It looks like it don't matter if I get a community guidelines violation or not. It don't matter. I tried switching up my last video a little bit. I tried to be a little more spicy than a QR code. I don't know if it worked or not, because it didn't seem to get a lot of traffic. But so you have a special needs child. How would this work for her? So Teresa, what would you try to do? You talking about for education purposes, or being sovereign, or because we're all free and sovereign. We just get deceived all the time through lack of knowledge, and I think that's what I was trying to talk about at the end of the day is. The way the systems are designed is to keep you padded and feel like you have the illusion of choice, just like George Carlin said. You have a black and a white, you have a positive, negative, a poor and rich, you have a Republican and Democrat, you have blue and white, you have. It looks like we have options and choices when you're dealing in the public realm, but you don't. It's like an illusion, because it doesn't matter what you think; it only matters about corporate interests. So. The system is kind of designed to kind of keep you in a daze and looking about fads, and everybody's attention span is real short. And these, believe it or not, monitors and screens are kind of weapons. They have been designed to like captivate and control. I originally didn't want my kids to have any types of screens or monitors to babysit them. But I love getting a break now, like just chill, watch YouTube for a minute. But they do learn some stuff that I wish they wouldn't. But I've watched them, and it zombifies them. Like it gets everybody on the street on the phones. They're just captivated by that now time instant gratification of like dopamine from exciting the eye cells and stuff in the brain from all the stuff that's going on through the phone. All right, so Andrew. Have you heard of folks registering their name as a business? Yes, and that is to me a waste of time, because you're the authorized representative of a business already. The U.S. citizen is a business. It is an individual trust. That is what the IRS classifies it. And the IRS are neutral third-party accountants for the creditors of the United States who deal in fictitious money. And the U.S. is only a corporation for all things banking. So, but yeah, to me, registering DBA as your name, you're already the authorized representative of the U.S. citizen. You have all kinds of abilities that you can do with it. You can contract with it in all kinds of ways. You can dock it and not use it. You can operate outside of the system with it if you want by receiving funds or contracting in certain ways. But it typically has 4 liens on it, and when you start dealing in a federal zone with Federal Reserve notes for profit, you're starting to get into some sticky situations that are hard to try to claim. You don't have to pay taxes. I got somebody on my group, Telegram group, that posted something that I need to kind of dig into about a 1040X because the tax system has always been here. I know the 16th Amendment didn't ratify it or not, but it's been in play since the beginning and founding of the United States. All right, so Teresa, more like services, because we have to set aside funds, but you know how money is acting funny. Oh, yeah. So, and that's part of what I was actually talking to my brother about. I have stocks and stuff, and I thought the whole economy was going to be crashing a lot sooner than it is now, but it's just really slow, with the Federal Reserve being the world's reserve currency. And I'm looking at, you could have, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I do not mess with cryptocurrency. A lot of people do, but you have to live by your means. You have to make smart financial choices if you're able to set money aside, and that's what ends up being allowed to be traded for. But if this economy crashes and the only thing that's out there is bartering, do you have gold? Do you have commodities? Do you have wheat? Do you have, because it don't matter if you have a donkey and you're hungry and the guy's got a sandwich and he won't take a donkey for, a sandwich. So, it's Jazz Love. Charles, we need an admin process class by you. Actually, I was thinking about my next video being on administrative procedures, but I do have a PAP video, and I have a lot of that information on my website under Commerce Class BA, I believe, would be where you can find templates and stuff like that. That's where I learned it all. You have to make sure stuff is in accordance with the Administrative Procedure Act, and that's why you have to give at least 2 notices. And whenever you sign up for like a car loan or a house or a bank loan, that's why they say if you miss one freaking payment, they can start foreclosing on you or start collecting. But they always wait for you to miss 2 payments. That way you're double behind, like you're done. It's like second witness. Same thing when you're doing your administrative procedure in your process. That's why you give the notice of interest, then you give the notice of fault and the opportunity to cure. That's your second witness. Then you send the notice of default declaratory judgment, and that is your third and final. It's basically like you're done because you've done your 2 witnesses and you bring it in. That's why everything is established through 2 or more witnesses. It's all biblical, baby. All right, Andrew. Interesting. Do you have one of them fancy passports, 4-star thing? Been looking into it. Yeah, I've been looking into it too, and I asked one of my old mentors if he had seen, because my understanding is that any segregation or differentiators from the passport between a national and a regular would only be held on the private computers of the issuer, aka the Secretary of State. The public card itself would not show any differentiator, is my understanding. The stars, I believe, and I can't verify this, but I'm trying to. The stars, I believe, indicate what security risk level you are. So depending on the more stars you have, the more of a security risk you are. But I believe it's the opposite with visas, with work visas. The more stars you are, like the higher, less risk you are. But anyway, I don't know how to verify any of this stuff because I don't work for issuing departments. I haven't asked police officers or federal agents or none of that stuff. Like I don't know. I'd rather not talk to them, to be honest with you. I'm sure I help enough of them on my own, just being who I am, trying to be nice and friendly. Nodnar, my Telegram group is on my website, which is located on my TikTok profile. So guys, this live will be on YouTube eventually. I might not be able to post it today, but this live will be on YouTube. The audio will be on my Telegram group. All my social media is linked on my website, which is linked on my TikTok profile page. I have playlists to help re-educate you Foundation, Nature, Spirit, and Commerce. And on the website's a lot of auxiliary information that can also help edify you on any of the paths that you should decide to increase knowledge and wisdom on, which is, like I said, it's about a balance. Oh, that was what I was talking about, the balancing act. So right when, before I was getting fired at my previous job, one of the things that they were trying to do is, as the younger generations, the softer, we'll call them softer generations, and this ties into even trying to buy pants. Like, I kind of like semi-baggy pants, and I can't find them anymore. When I was younger, I could get baggy pants all over the place. Now I buy pants, and people come up to me and say, "Are those girl jeans?" Because they're so tight. Like, I can't even like put fingers in them. It's like, might as well buy some what is it, the jean decks or spandex that look like jeans or whatever the heck they're called. When I was younger, I actually got joked for having tight pants, so I never wanted to wear tight pants. So like my whole life I've always had like baggy pants, and I've like been ingrained. And now that I try to go buy them, I can't get them. It's just tight, skinny pants. I said, "Look, man, how do I get baggy jeans?" And this guy was like, "All we can offer now is skinny jeans that have an extra 2 foot of material." So it's like extra skinny, tight jeans that are bag. They bag up. They look like wrinkles. It's like, what in the world is this crap? But anyway, back full circle. With the systems that are in play now, and the balance between work and life, that's what was trying to be implemented in the workplace where I was at, because the younger generations are becoming softer and softer and softer, and it's more about emotions than it is about what is like right or just or trying to do things. So what they're trying to do is balance work life between, instead of trying to do like straight 8s or 9 to 5s, it was like give people the option to work 10-hour days and then have 3 days off a week where they could have a Friday, enjoy life, and like do whatever they want. But anyway, so Teresa, we have medals. What do you mean you have medals? Oh, cool. Yeah, me too. I have some. I have barely any, but I do have some just in case. That's a smart move, because if crap does hit the fan, silver and gold is a pretty solid medium of exchange that retains value over years. This fiat paper money that's not backed by anything, although the BRICS nation does have a digital asset-backed currency now, but commodities like, wheat, silver, oil, gold, all that kind of stuff is substance, but again, at the end of the day, it's easier to trade fiat money. And that's kind of how money came into play. Was a lot of the ships would lose all of their gold in storms and stuff in the bottom of the ocean, and people didn't want to send money or gold or silver through by ships anymore, because that was the way things got traded. They didn't have airplanes. They used to have a lot of air balloons, more than they do now, which has been whited out on a lot of stuff. But they're constantly rearranging and changing history. They don't want us to think that we used to be advanced. They want to think that it's continually being a succession of advancement, when past previous civilizations were very advanced. You're buying property also. That's awesome. It's good. So what kind of services do you need at that point? If you have multiple properties, you could easily reverse mortgage a property and get equity out of it, or sell one or something like that. Andrew, I would love to get pulled over by a Cali cop and somehow be on a do not detain list or whatever else. So the do not detain list, I've seen it, and it says something that's peculiar. Okay, it says it's not a list. It says it's for the Department of Home. It's from the Department of Homeland Security, which basically means that if you're on that list, it says that you are basically classified as a terrorist. And it says do not detain based on this notice, which basically means that the notice that is issued out for someone who is a terrorist basically says don't detain them. And I'm going to talk to a cop about this to verify, but here's my assumption, okay? If you're on that terrorist list, it basically is saying don't detain them on because of this notice. But if they're doing something that is detainable, then yeah, detain them. Like basically, like you're driving around doing crazy stuff, you've got ammunition or something like that, then yeah, you're getting locked up. It's not a do not detain list no matter what, because that's not how the police operate. They will shoot first and ask questions later. It don't matter what kind of list you're on. You ain't if somebody's shooting at you, it's done. It's lights out. So You're very welcome, Nod. Appreciate it. Teresa, she is young and we are much older, trying to plan for the unknown. Yeah, so, the best thing I can tell you is for the circumstances is don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't make sure that you are storing up certain things that can last for a while just in case, lights go out. I have a house battery and some solar panels. I have I thought I was well prepared. I had a gas powered generator, but if something happens to the gas power or supply plant, then I'm not going to have gas to even run my generator. So that's kind of why I end up getting house batteries with solar panels just in case. Worst case scenario, I have some water and food. And then at that point, once you have food and water covered, even the electricity is just a byproduct. You can sweat inside a house. You can keep warm inside a house with blankets and stuff like that. And we're so used to all these little comforts that we take for granted all the time. But once you have your basic necessities covered, like you have a roof over your head, you have food and water, you can survive for a very long time. You can poop outside, you can pee outside. You don't have to have a toilet. You don't have to have perfume. You don't have to shave. Yeah, you might start stinking and get hairy and but you'll live. And depending on what happens, it could go any direction. It really could. I can tell you, it seems like the U space N is they took over all of the the forests, the national parks. If I'm not mistaken, all of the national parks are controlled by the UN. I think one of the presidents handed all of that over a long time ago, and with all the immigration coming in, and you can't call them illegal anymore because they're being allowed, they're being brought over, they're being paid for, they're being serviced. They're stuff could go in any number of directions. And is this the election year? Is this the actual election year? Or is it next year? Because one of the greatest things that the controllers of the narratives like to do is keep everybody in fear. Let me see. Election. Is it 20? Is it this the year? Live election. New Trump. Yeah, I guess this is the election year. So I don't know. Is it November or something? I don't follow none of that stuff because I try not to be a part of that corporation. But I don't even know when it's supposed to happen and that stuff. So anyway, hope y'all been enjoying yourselves. Hope y'all caught a little bit of the solar eclipse through the chemtrails if y'all were anywhere near around. I actually was talking to one of my friends. I couldn't believe that they were spraying. They were still spraying, and I'm like, everybody's going to be looking up. I can't believe they're spraying. But I did see a very interesting video because I don't know if it was the moon that actually caused the blocking, because there's 3 lights. Remember, we're operating in 3 lights constantly. And a normal solar eclipse where there's the moon, you can actually see the outline of the moon as it's blocking it. This one was the invisible sun, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a spiritual sun that overtook the light this time. I don't think it was the commercial light. So, but anyway, I looked at it. I didn't see an outline of a moon around anywhere. I don't know where the moon was in relation to all this happening, but there has been plenty of times when the spiritual sun has eclipsed the natural sun and the moon has been visible somewhere around. And nobody will publicize that or whatever, but you can find videos of it if you look hard enough. So, anyway, yeah, I'm glad you got to see it. I ended up getting some glasses from the library and let my kids look at it and stuff. It was their first one, and I actually made sure I grounded and stared at it a little bit because I'm a very unusual person that can stare at Ra. Not for a long time, I wouldn't say more than a minute, but a minute at a time. Bill, it was a new moon on the day of eclipse. Cool. So I watched a video where it showed that typically when the moon covers the eclipse, you can see the outline or silhouette of the moon itself, but you couldn't on this one. So I don't know how to explain it, but you have a ball, and then you have another ball that's covering it in. Even before it covers it all the way up, you can still see the outline of the other ball or disc or whatever it is. And this one you couldn't see an outline of anything as it was moving in front of it. It's almost like it was coming in from behind the disc, like this when it was covering up. That was a cool video. I didn't film it because I was in the 75% viewing range where I'm at in Virginia. I wasn't in the direct 100% viewing path of it. So, but anyway, Friday, everybody. If you got any questions, feel free to ask away. This is a very unusual time, but I'm gonna be busy. I got to meet contractors in a little bit, so if y'all don't have any questions, it is what it is. We'll keep it moving. I'm trying to think of anything crazy has happened to me lately that. Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll tell y'all something wild. So, I got to talking to this cook at one of the places that I eat at, and we got to talking about jail. I overheard her talking about doing time in jail and whatever, and I mentioned me. I was like, yeah, I spent 3 years in jail and whatever, and she just she comes up to me and she says, I shot my husband, and I was like. I was kind of like, daggone. And I was like, is he still alive? And they were like, she said, no, just his ring finger. And I was like, what? I was like, I'm assuming that means he was a cheating man. And she said, no, he beat me up or something like that. And she said, I'll still push him down the steps if I have to. So I'm like, daggone, they're still together. So this woman's done shot this dude's ring finger off. That's a toxic. That is high class toxic relationship status right there. So, I've got some great plans this weekend. I hope y'all have some good plans to enjoy life. I'm looking forward to it. Spending a little more on a hotel than I like to. Funny story. When I was in Jamaica, I went to the first thing I want to do is grab a bunch of groceries so I could make meals in the Airbnb. And I didn't know this, but only rich people go to the grocery stores. All everybody else buys off of little stands on the side of the road. So I go in the grocery store, just get some fruits and vegetables with my girlfriend, and we check out, and I looked, and it was $100. I looked down in the basket, and this is completely opposite of Turkey. I looked down in the basket, and I only had 5-6 things, and it was $140 bill. And I'm like, what the heck? And we started itemizing everything, and I looked. And a bag of grapes cost $26 for one bag of regular grapes. And so for the rest of the trip and everywhere else, we based all monetary value off of that one bag of grapes. Is it going to cost half a bag of grapes for this? Is it 2 bags of grapes? But anywhere else, if you buy on the side of the road, it'd be $10 or something like that. But like a moron, I thought you could just go to the grocery store, get groceries, and then, you're good, because I wanted to make meals, and we just got some fruit and a couple odds and ends, and it's like, what in the world? For $26 for a regular bag of grapes that you get at the store for $4, $5, something like that. But this is Jamaica. It's an island, and stuff's got to be imported. But on the side of the road, just for fun, I asked a random person, I'm like, how much are your grapes? And they were like 10. And so I felt like a moron. And then we even bought smoothie, frozen fruit, and it was rotten inside of the freaking, it was just a terrible experience going to the grocery store in Jamaica. That was the dumbest move that I had ever done, but being an ignorant tourist. So yeah, I should have started growing grapes. There's certain things that don't grow really well there, but here's what's interesting is it's 70, it's room temperature there all year round in Jamaica. It's 70 to 80 degrees. And one of the coolest things that I loved was the rivers on the mountain, nice and beautiful and peaceful and tranquil, fresh water, and they have different fruits that grow in different parts of the island. It's better for different things. And you could just walk around and grab passion fruit. You could grab mangoes. There was trees with so many mangoes, you couldn't count them in 10 days if you just started counting them one every second. There was these mango trees that had thousands and thousands and thousands of mangoes on them. I was like, good God. He's like, they said they got so many mangoes that animals that don't even eat mangoes be eating them. And in Jamaica, they say that they have words. They just call it like it is. They call one bird's called a seed bird because it eats birds. They have a very interesting language. It's broken English, and I cannot understand them when they speak fast. When they start talking fast. But I'm trying to learn Spanish right now, on top of some other stuff that I got going on. So, y'all got any questions? Feel free to shoot at me. I'm at the bottom. Normally, like I said, I come in a little later, but it's just a weird time. Thanks for joining, V. I'm trying to think about what else to talk about on my Charles show. Hope y'all are enjoying my QR code. That's how exciting I am. That's what TikTok said, and I might spend a couple lives keeping my QR code up there just for shooting shots at TikTok for saying that's how exciting my content is. Not only are they throttling me down, they're insulting me. So that's like insult on top of injury. Golly, I can't get my stuff out. The only way I'm gonna get my stuff out is if I pay. And I convert everybody's gifts that y'all give me into promoting my videos. And other than that, I might have to end up switching up my style. There was a time when I was doing atmospheric energy, and that went kind of big for a while, and then it started dying down a little bit. Then I started releasing this commercial knowledge, and that started getting kind of wild. Actually, I piggybacked off of a beautiful girl's video, because I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my videos, and I'm getting 300, 400 views, and then that's it. And I look at this one girl who is talking false information, and she's got 150, 200,000 views on this thing, and I'm like, let me set the record straight on this. That's kind of like how my TikTok career really started. But I was surprised. Like I do random things all the time, like the atmospheric antenna energy harvester for the blocking of the what is it called? Oh, the radio frequency from the smart meters. Like I be doing little projects like that all the time. I just don't film it, and I decided to film it. Yeah, Divergent Tiger Mom found my Telegram. So anyway, when I was walking around. I was walking around in Jamaica. I asked, this is so funny, the bag of grapes that I bought that was $26 were the burgundy ones. They were like the purplish burgundy ones. And I did it's just like this everywhere you go. The high tourist areas are more pricey, more expensive. And I did something called the Dunn's River, which is a sandstone natural. It looks fake. Like I tried to get them to admit it's all fake, like it's poured concrete, but they won't admit it. It even looked like it was poured around trees and stuff. It was really questionable, but it was a really fun experience. And I asked the guy at the end, I was like, "Can I pay you in grapes?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he said, "But the green ones." And I was like, "Man, they must have known that I had the cheap ones. I had the $26 burgundy ones. I didn't have the green ones. So I can only imagine how much the green bag would be worth on that island." But it's really fun to get to see other cultures. Like it's not legal to smoke there, but you can, and they're allowed to have up to 5 trees a person or something. And he said that nobody snitches on each other's neighbors. They just kind of like if you have more than that, like nobody's gonna tell. But everybody had a side hustle. That's kind of like how you gotta survive here. Everybody had a side hustle. Even the ice cream man. The ice cream man selling more than just ice cream. You know what I'm saying? And I got targeted several times. I don't smoke drugs. I have, of course, before, but I got targeted several times. And by like the third or fourth time somebody was trying to sell me some stuff, I kind of already knew what time it was. And they try to act like they're like, "Yeah, I like your hat," or like this, "Hey, yeah." Everybody's nice, of course. And then they get into the here's some good stuff, and it's like I'm good, man. I don't partake in that stuff. You can keep it. But everybody was really peaceful. But here's what's crazy: the roads in Jamaica are fast and furious, insane. Like luckily I can be an aggressive driver, but it took me a couple days because they drive on the left. I'm supposed to quote unquote have glasses for night driving, but I don't want to wear glasses because I can see fine, and if I ever put on glasses, my eyes will instantly start to need those forever. So I'm doing my best to postpone. I'm getting old, getting salt and pepper hair, eyes getting a little old. It's all part of the fun and games of this natural body as it slowly turns back to the earth. But anyway, the roads. Oh my gosh, pothole. Imagine this. Imagine everywhere on the island, everybody is so chill, and you know why? Everybody's so chill because they're all smoking, they're chilling. It's just real relaxed, right? As soon as you touch that road, it is driving on the left, 125% above the speed limit, potholes everywhere, and they're just speeding by cops like they ain't nothing, man. You know what I mean? They're just zooming by them. but it was such a beautiful place. And what I do think is wild is none of them can swim, like barely any of them. It's like how it got this beautiful water that is like room temperature year round. I watched somebody walk in the water and just pull out lobsters, tropical lobsters, just right. They just pull them out of the water and just throw them around on the grill. It's like if I wasn't vegan, whew, what a time to be vegan, man. Because that I'm telling you, that looks like the life, man. I got some great pictures and footage and video. It was really beautiful. Starlight Artesian. I love Jamaica. It's paradise, and the culture is so family oriented. Where I went in other islands in the region as well. It's a beautiful place. Yeah. So my girl grew up in the Caribbean. It was my first Caribbean experience, and it was very beautiful. It was very peaceful, and the people were so nice and kind. But a lot of them were trying to do side hustles. But what I really loved, I think my favorite part was we did a Rasta Safari, which is like an ATV tour all around the place. And the first guide, as we were walking through a farm, he's grabbing all these leaves off of all these trees, and he's sitting there talking about he's splitting them open and saying this one is good for heart. He's like, this one is good for your eyes. He's like, this one is good for, and he starts talking about all this knowledge of how plants, because those are the real medical medicines. Like, and nobody knows any of this stuff here in America. Like, try to find somebody that knows herbal remedies or the true herbal stuff for everything. Like, he said 40 to 50% of the island knows all of this knowledge. And I was like so impressed as we were walking around, and he was just grabbing stuff, and he was like, one of our tour guides was like, even the goats, when they have like an upset stomach, they know where to go to eat, what bushes to eat to make their stomach feel bad, or if they have like parasites, they know what bushes to eat. Like, he's like, even basic animals know that the plants are the medicine, you know. And that's cool. Hey, I'm vegan, you know what I'm saying? But you know, here in America, everything's highly processed and chemically induced and just kind of garbage. Even organic, you know, it's still laden with chemicals and fertilizers, pesticides and herbicides and growth hormones, and you know. So, you know, you got to pick your battles, and I tried growing my own. That's tough stuff. But that was one of my favorite things, was the knowledge and the experience that this man had about the earth and the actual plants that can heal on different levels. Like, out of the whole, even though, you know, my payment, I didn't even know that was part of what the tour was going to be about. I was just paying to hop in an ATV and like ride around. That was like, it was like a bonus extra, and it even came with a meal at the end too, a vegan meal, so it was cool. And I actually kind of blended in not because of my color, trust me, but Rastafarians, I love their religion, and well, it's not, I don't know if you call it a religion or not, but a lot of them are vegan. It's called Vital or Ital, and a lot of them classify fish as okay, but you know, it was really great meeting a lot of them people. So if y'all got any questions, feel free. I know I'm coming on earlier than usual. Appreciate all the diamonds and gifts. Appreciate all the follows and likes and shares, guys. You know, it's a beautiful Friday. I got to meet some contractors in a little bit. I will try to get this live on YouTube today. What I might do is go meet the contractors and come back. So if this live is not on YouTube today, actually I can't promise to be on it tomorrow too, because I got some great adventures planned for tomorrow. Me and my girl, we're gonna be doing some stuff, and other than that, so this live will be on YouTube eventually. The audio will be on my Telegram group. That only takes like a couple minutes. I can pop, I'm done with that. But when it comes to YouTube, doing the video, it takes a while to upload. Like sometimes it takes 20 minutes, and you know, I got a lot going on. So eventually this will be on YouTube. The audio will be on Telegram. All my social media is linked on my website. My website is linked on my profile page of TikTok. I have a playlist to help re-educate everybody. Feel free to DM me, email me. You can call me on my phone. I actually got to email somebody because I missed a call from them the other day. But I share your content as much as I can when people seem to be in the right mindset. Absolutely, I appreciate that. Yeah, you can lead a horse to water, and you know, I know it's not about numbers. But at the end of the day, I am very analytical. And when I used to get 20, 30, 40, 80, 100,000 views for a video that now is going to see 1,000 if I'm lucky, you know, it's just got me kind of questioning, you know, who am I going to reach? Because at the end of the day, out of 10% of people will even like my video. And then, you know, I'm all about trying to educate people I'm not trying to force feed them, but I do want to put words out because a lot of this stuff will change people's lives if they want to open their eyes and their mind to be able to change. Nickel, do you know anything about writing construction contracts? Are you talking about the different types of trusts? Or are you talking about actually building construction? Because I've done a lot of construction. I'm into property management. Okay, Nickel, you're talking about building. Yeah, I mean, I can help you. You know, you can use a template probably online if you really want to. It depends on what you're doing. Are you trying to do something turnkey? I mean, are you building foundations? Are you gonna have engineers? Because unless you're using like pre-engineered stuff, or you're using, you need to have building permits and stuff like that. If you're being a general contractor, it depends on what you're doing. Jamie, I appreciate your time and effort and knowledge. Thank you so much. I appreciate all y'all too. Last live I had 60 something people on here, and I got 11 of y'all, and it's just it's all over the place. I never know anymore with this stuff. So, check out Zek's podcast. You would have a great chat with him as well. He's on your wavelength. Awesome. I'd have to check that out. I have to write that down because I will forget most likely. Zek's with a ZEK podcast. Cool. All right, Jamie, how can I build a home with the SS or trust? Yeah, you're gonna have to go through the DTC, and you have to convert one of your bonds, and I don't know how much that's worth. That was one of the questions that I had. I think you could find out through a broker. I just never went down the path. I probably should, but. Then you can convert it through a back office banker because you have to use an agent to convert private funds into public funds. Alex Zek, the podcast is called The Way Forward. Yeah, I'll check that out. Alex Zek. Boom, boom, boom. Alex Zek, Way Forward. There's a lot of people that have been studying a lot of knowledge and stuff out there, and that's kind of how I got to where I'm at. Is I didn't just use like one source. I even had somebody when I started trying to teach them about some spiritual stuff, and I'm mixing in commercial and all this other stuff, and they're like, how did you learn all this stuff? And I'm like, www.awholelotofsources.com, and that's probably not a real website, or it might be, but what I was getting at is I learned from everybody. We're all in this together, and I always try to keep an open mind and open book to try to receive information and stuff from all directions, because you can learn something from anybody. I learned from a crackhead that you can sleep on one knuckle in the rain, like on your it's like, well, I didn't know you could do that, but hey, like I said, you can learn something from everybody. And you always have to embody that and take that on when you're dealing with everybody, because we're all one. I look at y'all as a reflection of me, and me as a reflection of y'all, and we're just kind of a body that's trying to edify each other in this. Jamie, is that in your videos about the home? Not the home. About the money is the bond. I say I'm chasing a dragon. It's on my discharging debt video. But there's people out there who might see. Here's where it's tricky, Jamie, because anybody who has gone through the DTC has to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Okay, I didn't go through the DTC. I know the basic rough draft of what it takes to go through the DTC, but I never did. If I did, I wouldn't be able to tell y'all anyway, because I'm not getting locked up for this stuff, because the systems that are in play are there for a reason. Because if you start teaching everybody that they never have to work again, you're gonna collapse the economy. Like, somebody will kill you. Somebody's gonna take you out, because you're gonna cause more problems and harm on this earth than you're doing good by trying to tell somebody that they don't. If nobody had to work, what would you pay for? You couldn't get burgers, you couldn't get groceries, you couldn't get stuff delivered by, you know what I'm saying? Everybody'd be sitting at home then. If nobody had to work anymore, that's why the system is somewhat harmonious on a big scale. Once you have the knowledge and the ability to set yourself free, you can open up the curtain and see the guy pulling the levers from the Wizard of Oz. But, if you don't take that effort on that path, you're going to be stuck in the rat race. Yes, many counselors. Yes, Starlight. Absolutely. Norwegian Batman, what's up, man? Where's the best FinInst to set up your trust account? Mini ball and lack of service issues? All right, so I'm assuming that's financial institute. So where's the best financial institute to set up your trust account? Depends on how many funds, what form of currency, what you're trying to do. because you can have a trust to open up a bank account. You just have to have, and that template's on my website under business structures, commerce, business structures, trust. It's in the folder in there. But yeah, it depends on when you start dealing in the public financial institute. What you have to have an EIN once you start dealing in public banking. Clay, what's up, man? How you doing? Happy Friday to you too, man. For real, it's a beautiful day. It's getting a little colder outside than I wish it was or would be, but and it kind of sucks because, like I said, I have great plans for this weekend, and some of it involved watching the sunset, but it's probably going to be freaking cold. So you have to run to an appointment. All right, email. Thanks again. You're welcome. Teacher's Heart and Family for sharing. You're very welcome, Starlight. Thanks for coming on. I'm probably going to be wrapping up soon. I've been on here for almost an hour. Well, I've been recording for 45 minutes. It takes 15 minutes to warm up to even get stuff going. But I have been on here for an hour. So if anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask. Now is your time to shoot because I am at the bottom of the list and I'm dancing. I am in Virginia. Yeah. That's where I'm at, buddy. I can't stop it. I like songs with heart. No, I can't control it. All right, guys. So now it's your forever rest in peace. If you have no questions, I appreciate all you. I'm sending y'all my love. I appreciate the follows, the likes, the shares, the comments, the all the gifts and everything. Please feel free to DM me if you got any questions. Email me, call me on my website, however you want. I'm gonna wrap up. I got a lot going on. I'm glad I could reach some of y'all. Sorry I was a little earlier than normal. I usually try at 2 o'clock and I got to meet somebody. So anyway, good day to y'all. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining. I will catch you next time. Happy Friday.